A portion of today's video is sponsored by Sheath Underwear. For more information on Sheath, click the link below in the description or wait until the end of this video.
Many times, if other countries aren't receiving their own citizens, other countries have agreed that they would take them in and they would provide hospitality.
You've heard the phrase, the banality of evil. There was a movie that came out, I think this last year, maybe the year before, that was like a retelling of life in and around, I think it was Auschwitz. Zone of Interest was the name of the movie. And it really was about the banality of evil, just how boring and everyday it is for these people who commit genocide and crimes against humanity. It's not always like a superhero movie with a bunch of action. Sometimes it's methodical and carried out under the guise of the rule of law, quote unquote. And it's exactly what we're beginning to witness with the Trump administration. So banal is their evil that Kristi Noem went on the Fox News Sunday show this weekend, yesterday, and admitted to human trafficking, admitted that she is participating in the trafficking of human beings to countries that are not their home, countries that maybe that weren't even on the continent they were born and raised. And she says it in such a humdrum way, the answer. Let me play the clip for you. Let's get our bearings, get on the same page here, and then we'll talk about what's going on here on the other side.
I want to ask you quickly about something that broke in the Washington Post overnight. They said that there is now a memo from the acting ICE director that piggybacks off of something that you had in a memo as well, that people can be deported to third-party countries without assurance that there is not going to be abuse or trouble for them when they get there. Some of these cases in as little as 6 hours notice. Do you think that's going to withstand legal scrutiny as far as providing some type of due process for people to challenge that?
Well, this is the same operation that we've had in the past, is that people can go to third countries. Many times, if other countries aren't receiving their own citizens, other countries have agreed that they would take them in and they would provide hospitality and they would provide housing for them and take care of them until their home country would receive them. And so that's what this memo is confirming. And that's all been negotiated with that country through the State Department, and something that we have been able to utilize. So that memo is incredibly important to make sure we get these worst of the worst out of our country. Remember, if their home country's not taking them, they're not taking them for a reason, because they're dangerous criminals, they're gang members, they're terrorists, and they don't want them back. And so that is why we're so set on getting them separated from the American people so our streets can be safer, and to make sure that they are brought to consequences and to bear until their country will receive them.
All right, Madam Secretary, thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
That's me doing a Kristi Noem. As an aside, it never ceases to amaze me, these people who want to disallow, who want to forbid transgender Americans from seeking gender-affirming care and procedures, yet that's exactly what Kristi Noem has done since the 20-teens. She has transformed herself to allow her to create in her a visage of her physical appearance to be more in line with how she thinks of herself in her mind. None of that hair is hers. Those lips aren't hers. Those cheeks aren't hers. But let's get back to the matter at hand here. How do we know that they are terrorists and dangerous criminals that we need off our streets unless we have provided them due process and we have adjudicated it before a judge with evidence? How do we know? We're supposed to trust the Trump administration that lies, lie after lie after lie after lie after lie, conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory, when the dear leader himself has admitted to crimes, has been indicted and convicted of crimes? How are we supposed to believe these people? They're editing using Adobe Premiere to edit the Epstein jail tape, but they cannot be trusted. And the answer that this is the same operation that we've done in the past isn't an answer to the question. She says, There's a memo now that people could be deported to third-party countries without assurance that there isn't going to be abuse when they get there. With as little as 6 hours notice, do you think this is going to withstand legal scrutiny? Well, this is the same operation that we've had in the past. That's not an answer to the question. It's also not a justification for human trafficking, which is what you're doing. Kidnapping. We have an armed force of secret police roving through the streets of the United States, kidnapping people without due process. That's what makes it kidnapping. And we've got the Secretary of Homeland Security out here making the round when she's not in combat gear with her makeup and long flowing fake hair on display. When she's not doing that, she's doing media hits, lying about what she's doing, and ultimately just admitting that they are committing human trafficking, sending people who are ostensibly, places like El Salvador, Venezuela, sending them to Sudan and Africa, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away from their place of birth, their home country, to be tortured, just like Kilmar Abrego Garcia was, in brutal places that don't have the same human rights protections as the United States once did. I wouldn't say that we have them anymore. Time to wake up. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also leave a fewer than 3-minute voicemail on the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Just because it's boring or seems run-of-the-mill does not make it so. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for your engagement, for your passion, your organization, your wanting to make this country and by extension, the world, a better place. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another. All right. Now that we've talked about all of that, I want to talk about something that's genuinely improved my daily comfort. You know how I'm always saying we should follow the evidence? Well, I've been wearing sheath apparel now for well over 2 years, and I have to say the evidence isn't just convincing, it's transformative. Let's face it, I hate buying underwear, and I'm sure you do too. Everybody hates buying underwear. With sheath, you can stop dreading that purchase because you'll have quality, durable apparel that lasts. Once you experience the sheath difference, you'll wonder how you ever wore anything else. What makes sheath different? That's the question. They're the original creators of pouch underwear technology. Now, I'm not going to get overly detailed here. It makes me a little uncomfortable, but it's essentially providing proper anatomical support that traditional underwear simply doesn't offer. Plus, Sheath donates a portion of every single sale to men's mental health initiatives, something I think many of us can appreciate the importance of. And it makes a noticeable difference whether you're sitting at a desk analyzing political developments for hours or just going about your day. And Sheath isn't just for men. They've developed an impressive line for women too, using the same principles of thoughtful design and premium materials. What I particularly appreciate about Sheath is their commitment to quality. These aren't disposable basics. They're using high performance fabrics that last, and their ethical manufacturing practices align with values that many of us in this community share. If you're ready to upgrade your underwear drawer with something that's actually engineered for comfort, head to sheath.com and use code Dollemore for 20% off your first order. My team and I have switched to Sheath, and honestly, it's one of those small changes that makes a surprising difference in your day.